Hello, my friend. In this video, I'm going to talk about free Spotify streams, how you can get them, and why they are the best way that you can really start increasing your stream counts on Spotify. Full disclaimer right off the top, if you're hoping for some kind of like, oh, you can go to some website and type in, I want 10,000 streams or anything kind of scammy like that, this is not the video for you. This is going to go over a process that it's a workflow and it's a process, it's a strategy that can get you these free Spotify streams, and it does take work. And if you're not willing to put in the work, then again, go click on out of here. This is not the video for you. So let's dive right into this. So to get free Spotify streams, artists need to trigger the Spotify algorithm to start getting placed in algorithmic playlists such as Release Radar, Discover Weekly, and Spotify Radio. The reason for this is because if the Spotify algorithm notices a song is gaining popularity by getting repeat listens and saves at a high rate, Spotify will actually push that song out to similar listeners for free. So this is a great way, and you've probably heard of these algorithmic playlists before if you're tuned into this space. Essentially what an algorithm playlist is it's a customized and personalized playlist for every single user on Spotify, and they get recommendations from Spotify based on their own listening habits. And we'll dive a little bit more into how this actually works, how it works on the user side. It'll give you a good understanding so that you can figure out how you can actually get these free streams. I'll go over the entire process here in this video. But before I do continue, I wanted to let you know that I've also written an article on this topic, as you can see right here. So if you'd like to follow along, or if you simply prefer the written word format, simply go head on over to Google and type in free Spotify streams best friends club, and you'll be able to get access to the article. So let's dive right back into this. So in addition to algorithmic playlists, like I mentioned earlier, Release Radar, Discover Weekly, Radio, those kinds of things, Spotify will reward artists by giving them the opportunity to get free streams from Spotify's editorial playlists as well, which we'll also get into. So getting your song placed on one of these particular playlists means your song will get shown to thousands of new listeners who are similar to your current listeners. So how can you actually leverage the algorithm to get free streams yourself? Well, that's why you're here, and let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So how to increase Spotify streams with free streams. So I think the best way to do this is to understand the Spotify algorithm a lot more in detail. So let's dive into that. The Spotify algorithm's main purpose is to always try to recommend songs that people want to listen to so that people spend more time inside of the Spotify app. Essentially, the more time a user spends inside the Spotify app, the more opportunities that Spotify as a company has to make money. So this can be in terms of keeping users on the premium or encouraging people to upgrade to premium. It's also things like selling ads on the space. The more users on the space, the more they can charge for ads, as well as just the higher amounts of engagement and users they have, the more that they can get external investment money from different investors as well. So if the Spotify algorithm that they've built notices that any song is being listened to more than normal, is actually being saved by its listeners, and the listeners are then following the artist, then it is in Spotify's best interest to push that song out to similar people. You can benefit from these free streams by learning how to consistently send people to your Spotify profile who are likely to save that song at a high rate. So I've noticed about 40% of listeners or higher are saving the song, listening to the song repeatedly. I've noticed 1.8 times on average or higher, and that they're adding that song to their own playlist as well. So these stats I also got from a really cool other YouTuber named Andrew Southworth. There will be a link in the description below to check out his videos. He has a lot of really good stuff on how you can run ads to Spotify to get numbers like this, so definitely check out his stuff as well. But back to the algorithm. Spotify's algorithm monitors millions of data points like this to make connections and assumptions to find out what song to recommend to each Spotify user and when. However, it is important to understand that the Spotify algorithm does this by collecting data on and off of their service. So knowing these data points is one of the first steps in figuring out how you can kind of hack the Spotify algorithm to start giving you free streams. So really, these free streams are in my opinion, one of the real keys to getting millions of streams on Spotify. So if you want to get 1 million streams on Spotify, you will need all the help you can get, and that definitely includes learning how to get free streams like these. So whether you use some kind of course or YouTube videos or you just experiment, you're going to want to take these particular steps to reach your goal. So first is you want to understand how you can use the Spotify algorithm to increase your streams, royalties, and fans. Second, you want to craft some kind of social media plan that you can be proud of that's both effective and laid back and realistic for you to actually implement. Third is to simplify the content creation process for social media posts and marketing promotion campaigns, kind of get a lot of bang for your buck when you're creating content, essentially. Fourth is having some kind of smart link website landing pages that will actually grow your streams. I have a free course in the description below that will show you how to do it my favorite way, using a drag and drop theme editor inside of WordPress, so you can make it look like any of the smart link pages. That's my preferred way, but having any will do. Fifth is actually preparing your first release to go live on Spotify, then successfully pitching your song to the Spotify editors. I have a video that I'll link to actually above, where I do a pitch to the Spotify editors that actually landed in a Spotify editorial playlist, and I have a bunch of tips as well you can check out. Then next is to easily create the assets for your first campaign. This is going to be videos and the artwork, that kind of stuff. 8 is to schedule ads and social media posts for your first release campaign. 9 is to run your first release campaign with no stress by sitting back and having everything scheduled because of the step before. And 10 is to analyze and optimize your releases results to increase your streams, fans, and listeners with each song you release. So there is a bit, when you schedule stuff, you get to kind of sit back and relax a lot, but I think you do need to spend a lot of time analyzing and optimizing the stats. You can't just set it and forget it all the time, especially at the beginning. You're going to want to really dive into your stats, figure how you can improve your campaigns from release to release. So really, finding success on Spotify is more than just increasing stream counts. It's also about branding, social media, web presence, building momentum or some kind of buzz, and most importantly, having an active and growing fan base of real, genuine music lovers that actually care about you and what you do. So let's take a closer look at how you can actually attract listeners to your Spotify profile in the first place. So you do need to drive people to your Spotify profile so that they can see and stream your latest release and easily follow your profile. So there are a few ways that you can do this. One is to get on other Spotify playlists. Another is to create your own Spotify playlists. And one is to run ads using Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, etc. And another is, of course, just plain old social media. So in my experience of getting 1 million Spotify streams 2.5 times, I think now the total is about 4 million. I'll put a thing over my face showing how many I have so far. I would say that an integral tactic that I am able to control and see the positive key metrics on new releases, like I mentioned earlier, the save rates, the follows, all that kind of stuff, is by running Facebook and Instagram ads. That's my preferred way to do it. However, you can actually use any tactic you'd like as long as you're hitting those key metrics that I mentioned earlier in the video. So for every new release, the Spotify algorithm is looking for those key metrics in addition to the number of actual streams that your song is getting. So to recap on that, it's the save rate, which is how many of your listeners are actually saving your song. It's the listen rate, which is how many times on average your listeners are actually listening to your song. It's the number of playlist ads, so how many people are actually adding your song to their own playlist. This is just normal, everyday Spotify users. It's actually very important to get just normal people listening to your music and saving it. And then it's the amount of new followers, so how many people follow your Spotify artist profile during the release of your song. So these things are some of the stuff that other YouTuber I mentioned, Andrew Southworth, definitely talks about a lot, and I've noticed it to be pretty effective. Hitting those numbers won't always guarantee that you'll start triggering the algorithm, but it is a great way to start. In addition to this, there's another thing that you can track. It's called the Spotify Popularity Index, and another YouTuber named Tom Dupree III also mentions that when you hit 20%, it will get you in Release Radar, and if you can get to 30% of this popularity index, you'll start getting into Discover Weekly. I've noticed that it's kind of a mix between these two tactics. I've had songs that have had over the 20% mark and weren't in Release Radar because the save rate and listen rate dropped because they were on editorial playlists, so it didn't trigger some of the other algorithmic playlists. It really is a balancing act. There's no definitive science to this. Spotify hasn't released any of this stuff, so the best you can do is get as much information as possible and just try to improve your numbers where you can across the board. So although Facebook ads alone can't get you to millions of Spotify streams, learning the fundamental components of creating a thriving and active fan base is a big requirement. And this can be extremely effective for growing your Spotify listeners and streams. And one of the things is that Facebook ads can kind of start this process. So you can find the users on Facebook, use that to trigger Spotify, and then get more similar people to the people that you just found on Facebook using Spotify's algorithm. So maybe that might be a little confusing, so let's dive a little bit deeper into it by looking at Facebook ads for Spotify streams and followers. So Facebook ads are an effective tool for growing Spotify streams and followers because Facebook provides in-depth targeting options, flexible budgeting, and has an algorithm that could optimize itself to get the most results possible for the lowest cost possible. So more specifically, Facebook and Instagram ads for musicians have a very powerful feature called custom and lookalike audiences that you can use to get even more results for lower costs. This is a basic explanation of kind of how it works. So first, Facebook allows you to place people that engage with you into custom audiences. So this can be anyone that interacted with your ad, any of your posts on Instagram, if they just liked it, commented on anything like that, on your Facebook page, those kind of things. They watch certain percentages of any of your videos, whether it's ads or organic posts. Then second, you can retarget them with ads at a lower cost than it took to reach them in the first place. So this is once you have people in those custom audiences that have engaged with you. So you can actually send ads to them to follow up with them and increase the amount of times that you've hit them up with ads or marketing messages or songs or anything like that. And generally, when you're doing this retargeting method, it's cheaper to kind of perform this. It costs you less on the Facebook ad side because these people are more likely to engage with you again. So Facebook sees this as a positive and it'll charge you less for those interactions. And then third, you can leverage the Facebook algorithm to create lookalike audiences, which are about 1 million more people that are similar to the people that are in your custom audiences. So it'll use all its creepy Facebook data to find similarities between that custom audience and find more similar people so you can reach them. And then the likelihood of them interacting with your music and your ads is higher again. So all of this means that you have the power to send highly targeted listeners over to your Spotify profile and then leverage the Facebook algorithm to find more of those people for less over time so that you can increase your chances of tripping the Spotify algorithm to find you even more of those people for free. So this is why I honestly think Facebook ads are so popular for artists, musicians, and producers looking to grow on Spotify. You can use the Facebook algorithm to trigger the Spotify algorithm to get free streams and listeners. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I tried to break it down as clearly as possible. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about this, I have a 7-step Spotify release checklist that I use to this day, and it's what I've used to get that 4 million streams so far. It's just the basics of what you need, and it goes over everything from distribution to pitching properly to the Spotify editors and all that kind of stuff, as well as breakdown on Facebook ads. Smart Link course is actually in that if you want to see that as well. And it's just the 7 essential things. It's not like 47 million things that you need to do in order to have a proper Spotify release. It's just the actual 7 things you need to do to have a really effective, efficient release that you're not stressed out about. Check out that in the link below. I think that's the best thing that'll help you out in your career. It's completely free, and the checklist is actually completely interactive as well. So there's the 7 steps, and you can actually click through each one and it'll open up a kind of explaining what that step is, why it's important, and how you can actually complete it, with more additional resources on how you can complete that step as well. It's kind of almost more of an interactive guide than a checklist, so I think you'll find it useful. Anyways, enough blabbing. Check that out in the link below. Other than that, hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Other than that, good luck on your next release, and I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.